Yes, I'd like to begin by recognizing the traditional owners of this land on which we host this event today. I also like to pay our respect to their elders, both past and the present. We are really overjoyed to be in a country where diversity is acceptable and where we are all part of the community. I'd like to also apologize to all our guests today for those who came really on time. Like Melbourne weather, I'm sure you all will understand. We all live in Melbourne after all. But we sincerely really do apologize because this should have started long ago and some of you have really had to sit here for so long and we really, really appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts. We mean it. So today we have wonderful guests and amazing community leaders from the VMC. That is going to be Abiola.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land that we all gathered tonight, the Wurenji people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to their culture, their elders, past, present, and emerging. As she mentioned earlier on, my name is Abiola, and people often call me Abby, because when I first arrived in Australia, people find it very difficult to pronounce these 5 letters, Abiola. They call me Ebola. So I said, just call it Abby. Even before the Ebola virus, I said, just leave it as Abby. That will be fine. But Abiola is welcome. That's my traditional name. And I'm a community leader, as she earlier said, an advocate, an educator, a clinical nurse consultant, an entrepreneur, and among all, a Victoria Multicultural Commissioner with the VMC. And in all those titles that I've mentioned, there's nothing that I'll see telling you that I'm a proud African. And I say that with full pride. I'm not saying I'm from West Africa or North Africa. I am a proud African woman. And as she said, when she mentioned earlier on, I'm actually equally blessed, so don't look behind. I'd like to acknowledge that we are joined today by Peter Kucha, Director of Partnership Engagement and Collaboration, Limbargo, Director of Advocacy and Campaign, Wendy Fair, Coordinator Counseling and Telehealth Services, Sydney Freedom, Therapist, the CEO of Center for Migrants and Refugee Health, Mapo Chado. Mapo, thank you so much. And I would also like to acknowledge Sister Rebecca Mufaba, who's been doing a great work in the community, and Sister Monica as well. If I've omitted your name, I'm sorry. And it's just because I've not had that list of names. So I actually acknowledge every single one of you tonight. So thank you for having me. I'm honestly honored that you have welcomed me to this the Center for Migrants and Refugee Health ceremony for the Social Justice Award. It's a matter that is close to my heart and to my life. I came to Australia 20 years ago, and wandering in this land, the first thing I asked myself was, what am I doing here? Because I came with hope, aspiration, and only for me to get in here the first 1 year without all the so-called social barriers. In Nigeria, where I come from, English is a lingua franca, so that was not my problem. Education, that wasn't my problem, because I was educated before I arrived here. Experience in job, that wasn't my problem, but I got here and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't even get a job as a cleaner. And Martin Luther King once said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice everywhere. I believe every one of us deserve the equal opportunity to the right access to health, to education, to participation, and to support for our general well-being. At many places around the country right now, people are celebrating diversity. We're a great state made of over 300 ancestries, 260 languages, and different faiths. But everywhere, as we celebrate, there's a question in my heart. And the question is, are all these communities treated equally? Do all Victorians experience the same amount of justice, equity, and access in together with participation? Realistically, I'll say no. And we need to acknowledge that. But on the other side, I would like to acknowledge the amazing work that each and every one of you have been here doing, giving us a voice. We were here because some people stood up decades ago, and they stood up against injustice. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the nominees of Social Justice Award, both individual businesses, for their amazing work. You're the reason that we're here, you're the reason that I'm standing, and you're the reason that the African Australian community will keep on going forward. Thank you so much for every work that you've done. All of your work move Victoria towards the goals of equity, harmonious, and harmonious society. At the Victoria Multicultural Commission, we work as a conduit between the community and the government. We advocate across all levels of government in support of the needs of the cultural and linguistically communities. And I would also like to say that as we stand here tonight, we take our role as a statutory body seriously, and we speak truth to the power when necessary. Being able to speak and speak out for the truth that you believe is highly necessary in this fight that we are fighting for. We do this to support and celebrate this beauty and uniqueness of our state. In the time, we've witnessed a lot of growth, changes, challenges, success in our state and multicultural communities. I would like to highlight the shared values and aspirations between the VMC and the Center for Migrant and Refugee Community Health. We all know that every Victorian have the right to the highest standard of physical, emotional, and mental well-being. We have the right to live and work in a safe, healthy environment. We have the right to education, the right to freedom of thought, and the right to freedom of expression. We have the right to take part in public services and to have access to public services. We know that these pillars of social justice are particularly important for the communities and for many people that experience vulnerability. And they will all link to very real, tangible outcomes of our health. No organization, no person should be left behind in this fight. I've often said, when people said to me, I'm tired of advocating, I'm tired of talking, I'm tired of discussing it over and over again, you cannot be tired. Because the privilege of standing in here, of sitting among each other, of being able to enter the same bus, being in the same school, as of today, is because some people fought before us and they were never tired. And those privileges we are entitled to today. So for the future of everyone that comes into this country, you can never be tired. For our children, you can never be tired. I often said that coming to Australia or coming to any country, migrating and leaving all your country behind and looking for a greener pasture, for any reason that's known to you, it's not a sin. But it's a sin for people not to accommodate you when they can accommodate, when they have the resources to support you. It's a social sin. Empowering communities to advocate for themselves is the foundation of social justice. It is an honor to be here among some of the most hardworking social justice advocates. I'm not going to be beginning to mention him here. He's there, Sister Rebecca, every one of you. The work that you do as leaders, workers, and allies across public and community service to address inequalities in health, in education, community development, housing, employment, food security, and discrimination is noticed, but not just by us, by other people you have impacted everywhere. In the face of inequalities, it's up to us all to stand up to injustice, to work, to do an aspiration, to not just be me for everyone, but for everyone here tonight. The work we do is not easy, but it's important. It's worth it. And I just want to thank you all for having me here tonight. Keep up the good work, and thank you. Congratulations to everybody that's worked so hard to put this event together. Thank you.
Well, thank you, CMRH, and we should also acknowledge here our VMC Commissioner, but also the rest of you as part of community. I work with CMRH, and I also work with other organizations. And the reason that I work with these organizations, as our commissioner said, is mainly because we are very new as Africans. to Australia, comparatively. When Australia was being set up, we were not part of the picture. So the policies, procedures, considerations, they did not include you. You were not part of the picture. Not because we were being discriminated against, but because we were not here. And so because we come into a society that was set up in a very different way, the way we set up our societies, we need to tell this society what we need, what we lack, what would help us, etc. And if we don't, then nobody will, because they don't know. And what I've found in many cases is we jump to crying out, they are discriminating against us. No, they are not. They don't know. And if they don't know, they won't do anything. My role, therefore, in all these organizations is to educate the other side of society, which we have come into, but also to educate ourselves, to get to learn them. And I have found out that many organizations, and sometimes even individuals, what we forget is we are all gifted differently. One is very gifted in advocacy, standing out there politically. I am not. Others are very gifted in educating others. I am. That's my job. I'm a teacher. Others are highly educated in medicine, others in nursing. We all are gifted differently, and all these gifts are important for us to utilize to make this space a conducive space where we can actualize ourselves and contribute to it as well. Now here's the challenge. In many cases, we want to be one thing. As I said, I'm not very politically oriented, but I would want to be councillor, or I want to be MP, and everybody wants to be MP. Now that's a disservice to ourselves. What we fail is to appreciate each other. And what you'll see is that if one little organization here begins some work, another organization there wants to undercut them. Now that's useless. It is a disservice to ourselves. We should promote each other. In that area that one is working, help them to do the best they can, because in the end we all benefit. But there's so much of stepping on each other's shoulders to go high and maybe get an award or get something. Awards should come because awards come, but not to fight to step on this one so that it comes to me. Now that's a disservice. So CRMH and AfriOz ILIAC, I work with them tirelessly because I would want us to look at what are the disadvantages we have in terms of health. And especially when we come this side, mental health becomes a big issue. We come in a different setting, culturally, and other ways, and that can be quite a big pressure on you. The change can be a big pressure. Some call it a culture shock. It may be more than a shock. And so we need to find ways in which we can help each other to settle in this context. And health is an important element. And so is what AfriOz ILIAC does is, ILIAC means inspire, lead, educate, advocate for change. What we really are there for is to see to it that provisions which are available from government, we can access them and make them available to all our communities, including all other CALD communities. That's what really we do. So let's all work together, and I'm grateful that CMRH is recognizing this work, and I'm sure we all do. But I think what we should do is all work together and support whichever area one is doing or one organization is doing. Let's support them. Let's not be competitors. We're not competing against anybody. We're simply working to contribute. So congratulations, CMRH, for recognizing the work in the community. And congratulations for those that are receiving awards tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much for recognizing my work as a mental health worker with the community. It's my real award, actually. People when they facilitate change and live their life normal. And this is my real award. This is what I want. Thank you for this award. But people when they change and meet their needs, this is what I'm looking forward. Thank you for everyone.
First of all, I want to say thank you for everyone who are working great work in the community and being ambassador for peace and RAC member. I appreciate the work of Victorian Multicultural Commission, and also I appreciate UPF and also CMRH, and I just want to say greeting, peace, shalom, salam, assalamu alaikum, namaste, and many other traditional and multi-faith greeting to everyone, and good afternoon everyone. I am a passionate of peace, love, and multicultural, multilingual, multi-faith, interreligious, and interdenominational community work. We are one, even belong to different countries and different traditions. And we are really blessed that we are in Australia. This is a blessed country. I am proud of this country that we have a freedom and respect. And I love a few words: peace, respect, honor, and freedom for everyone, for unity and peace. We are one. Everyone say, we are one. We are family. We are community. God bless all of us. My prayer, Daddy.
Everyone. Sorry that I lost my composure. It's a surprise. The gift is a surprise. And again, I got a surprise when, of course, I received an email, a message inviting Afri-Aussie ILIAC to come and receive Social Justice Award. I just feel so small, humbled, and on behalf of Afri-Aussie ILIAC, I accept the gift itself, the award, and just a few words, if you can bear with me. To me, social justice is a view that everyone deserves equal economic, political, and social rights and opportunities. So we as community leaders, whether male or female or whatever gender we describe ourselves, you find out our aim should be to open doors of access and opportunity for everyone, particularly those in need. And Afri-Aussie ILIAC, working with Mothers Coalition, and then at another stage, Dr. Charles brought me into working with CMRH, and so we have worked together. Now with Mother Coalition, we have worked together since 2020, COVID-19. And when I received the call to come and accept or receive the Social Justice Award, I stepped back, I was in tears. Dr. Charles doesn't know this. I felt so humbled and felt like, well, look back, Rebecca. the work that you have been doing with Monica Majad and the other LovePax partners, does it really demonstrate social justice? And the other, of course, organization that we have worked together, there is a representation here of Mariola and Jasmine, International Women Peace Group. We have worked together. Our sister Biola in the VMC worked together. She's a commissioner. I'm regional advisory, council member. We work together. What I will say is to echo what Dr. Charles has also said. If we celebrate our diversity, that will mean a lot. If we work together, that will mean a lot. Allow me to say, silence is not an option when there is social injustice. I am an educator. I'm an educator, community leader, a mother. I'm also a community leader, an advocate. I promote together, not alone. I believe in working together, and this is exactly what Mothers Coalition, Mama Monica has done with Center for Migrant and Refugee Help have done, working together. And these awards, to me, every community who have received, to me speaks a lot. And if indeed we are to defeat injustice or injustices, inequities, inequalities, it is about staying put, focused, working together. It's not about you. We need to say we. We are one, and so together we can go far. Thank you very much.
So we have, Mabor is going to give out the awards to the organizations that have been nominated. So we are going to start with Viola. Please give her. So she's going to be giving out some of the awards as well with Mabor.
Thank you.